The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Blessman International, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Bozen the Florist. Thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And a very pleasant good afternoon and welcome to Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines as we get set for Game 2 of our Catholic Classic, the Boys High School Catholic Classic. And it's Dowling and Kuemper Carroll in the finals. The consolation game just finished as Cedar Rapids Xavier defeated Sioux City Heelan 54-51 in the renewal of the Catholic Classic. And we have the championship game here. Kuemper fans sitting behind us. I know a few of them and reaching out to a few, and we're all one big family here today. Jimmy, I told them I'd pray for them. Hopefully they'll pray for me when they go to Mass tonight or tomorrow.
I think everybody needs to pray for you. But
thank you.
Carroll Kuemper, their fans travel very, very well. The seats to the visitor side here at Dowling are fairly full, but you know it's such a unique opportunity in basketball where a top-rated 2A team comes and plays a top-rated 4A team, and they're really – this Carroll Kuemper team is so talented, and they're 2A just by size alone, but they're going to come out when these ratings come out tomorrow, and they're probably going to be in the top 3 in Class 2A as a rated basketball team, and should be a really exciting night tonight or afternoon as Carroll Kuemper's averaging over 80 points a game, Mark.
Unbelievable.
And giving up just 50. So, you know, their average difference in winning margin is 30, and so I hope the Maroons got a lot of rest last night in a short turnaround because they're going to be out running today.
You were promoting ice baths when we were in the post-game show last night. Hopefully that was done by the folks that needed to on the Dowling team. But, you know, this Kuemper Catholic team yesterday, first of all, they defeated Heelan 73-46 last night. And then you look at some of the kids in this team, they lit it up. They went 9 for 22 from three-point range. They shot almost 41% from three-point range. And they got after it on the boards, too, as they had 29 rebounds, out-rebound Heelan. But this is a team that's, 7-0? They go about 8 or 9 deep. They got basically 6 or 7 starters, talking to the radio guys earlier. And they had a move-in that is now on the team. Ryan Clare, number 24, he moved in from East Sac County. He wasn't eligible November, December, but is eligible now, and he got his first start last night.
Well, and you say how deep they go, and they played in a early November, December schedule where they were playing teams, and they're up 30, 40 points, and so they're able to go deep. Every kid on this team has played about every game that they have played yet this year in the 7 games. So a lot of experience. You look at their roster, their second and third leading scorer on their team, which is Dylan Schoen and Griffin Glenn. 2 and 3 top leading scorers on their team come off the bench. So it says a lot about their overall talent offensively. Their shooting three-point range is some of the top percentage in the state at 37%. But this Bating twins, Brock and Jack, both of them shooting close to 43s on the year, and this Brock Bating, 44% shooting 3 points in 38 attempts. So 17 of 38 on the year is Brock Bating, and can shoot the lights out. I was talking to my nephew earlier, who came out to watch, specifically this team because he knows how talented they are, and he said a ton about Brock Bating.
Keep an eye on the guy behind you here, Tim Fitzpatrick, the former athletic director at Kuemper. Glad he retired. That's all I got to say. Glad he retired. But he came down. And I said, you came down here, Fitz, was to take your wife shopping. He says, yeah, she knows where the expensive malls are here. I said, the one out west in Dallas County? Yeah, I'll bet she does. And the Kuemper fans are right behind us. John McDermott, who broadcaster for the Iowa Wolves here. His kids go to Dallas Center Grinds. My son my brother baptized his sons, all 4 of them. And he still lives to tell about it, but he's a Kuemper grad. And his kids go to DCG. They're here. So packed house. Dowling fans arriving here late. And this should be a great matchup. You have 4A school, Dowling, and a 2A school in Kuemper Catholic. The Maroons come in with the record of 5-2 after the win last night, snapping a 2-game losing streak. Pretty good teams. Johnson and Waukee will probably both be the top 10 when rankings come out tomorrow. But the Maroons, they got off to a slow start. Charlie Crane got a couple fouls in that first half, and the Maroons weathered that storm and really took it to Sioux City Heelan in the second half yesterday, Jimmy.
Well, it was such a balanced attack, and we've seen what has success looked like for the Maroons, and success looks like when everybody gets involved. Everybody's moving without the ball, attacking the rim offensively, and looking for guys who are cutting backdoor and getting high percentage shots rather than the kick-out three that they struggled with. So the balance attack, the Maroons didn't have a kid in double figures last night, but they had 4 kids hitting 8-9 points last night, and that's the secret to Maroon success, is when they distribute the basketball well, everybody gets involved, and they play cohesively.
These two teams did meet once, because it doesn't show up on quick stats because they don't go back to 1976, but I found out 1976, these two teams met in a sub-state game at the Valley Fieldhouse, and it was Kuemper Catholic defeating Dowling 48-43 in that sub-state game. And I think there was a member of that team, we talked about his son last night, who snapped the 3-game winning streak that Xavier had over Dowling, Stevie Sarcone. Well, his dad, Steve Sarcone, I believe was on the Dowling team during that time, because I was an 8th grader at St. Anthony's back in during that time. I do remember that.
Steve Sarcone, the eldest of the Steve Sarcones, he stands about 6'5", so I got to imagine Steve was probably the tallest kid, not only on the floor, but in the entire building that night. With the high socks and the knee pads, and he probably had John Stockton shorts. If you know what those John Stockton shorts are, they're really actually making a comeback. They're about, 6 inches in height, and
that's right. Goodness. All right, well, game one's over with. It was Cedar Rapids Xavier taking 3rd place in the Catholic Classic. They defeated Bishop Heelan of Sioux City 54-51. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, and Vinny Cataldo back on the board. And he did make it almost near his goal last night that you predicted he would. He bowled nearly a 200 after following our game last night. So good for Vinny.
We know Vinny's got the athletic traits in the family, and some of them are hockey players, some of them are football, baseball. But Vinny's the bowler with his brother Anthony. With the bumpers, I don't think I can break 100. I'm not a very good bowler, but Vinny and his brother Anthony.
You said athletic family, so what happened to you?
Well, I'm just not the bowling side. Everybody has a little bit. Kind of like you. You're a curler. And other people can play baseball, but you do well.
Listen, I slip on the ice. I can't walk on the ice. I slip on the ice. We're going to take a 1-minute break. Come back with more pregame. We'll have starting lineups. Dowling and Kuemper Catholic from Carroll. The two Catholic schools meeting for the championship here at the Dowling Gym here in West Des Moines for the Catholic Classic. Stay tuned. We'll have more pregame in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
And welcome back to the Dowling Catholic High School Gym here in West Des Moines. Place is filling up for Game 2 of the Catholic Classic. Technically Game 4. We played 2 games last night. Dowling and Kuemper Catholic from Carroll were winners last night, and they're playing in the finals. And we're a little bit of a late start. We thought we'd start around 1:30, and it's going to be closer to 1:45 because of the preliminary game. And that came down to the wire, Bishop Heelan and Cedar Rapids Xavier. I know both teams want to head home and check out of their hotels and stuff like that, but that came down. It was tied in the final minute, and it was fun watching those two teams go down the wire. And we saw the Xavier team last night, and they end up pulling it out as Xavier defeated Heelan 54-51, Jimmy.
Well, you saw the product of what we saw last night in Xavier, Wilkenbush and A.J. Evans really taking control of that game and playing outstanding towards the end and pulling out a very, very close game, which if you're Heelan, and I know how you talk about moral victories, I don't know why, but you talk about these moral victories. Heelan has a very, very tough go at it with Carol Kuemper last night, but comes back and plays very competitively, very hard fought a game against Xavier, and just losing the game by 3.
All right, let's take a look at these starting lineups. And, Jimmy, I know you're going to give us a little preview of what to expect, but we'll start with the visitors from Kuemper Catholic of Carroll. They are out of the Hawkeye 10 conference. Technically, there are 11 teams in that conference. I did give you their sheet,
I got it.
On all the teams they play. Basically, they have a 1A and a 4A school, and everybody else in between is 3A and 2A. They come in averaging, as Jimmy mentioned earlier, 85 points on offense. They give up 54 points on defense. Their head coach is Sean Minahan in his 10th year. He was an assistant for 5 years, teaches in the Carroll Catholic system, so he's been there 15 years, and what a great job that he's done. Tyler Tryon, Scott Leonard, and Tom Nelson are his assistants. And the Knights of Kuemper Catholic will go with this starting lineup. They will start at one guard. Carson Canny, a 5'11 senior, averaging 6.5 points, leads the team with over 7 assists per contest and shooting 71% from the field. Canny will wear number 4. The other guard is Tragan Biter, a 6-foot senior, averaging 9.5 points. He'll wear number 5. They are both captains. Canny and Biter, both captains. And the other starter is Brock Bating. Bating leads the team in made three-pointers, a 6'3 junior, averaging 12.5 points, and he will start at the other guard. So a 3-guard offense with Canny, Biter, and Brock Bating. His brother Jack will get the start. Jack, a 6-foot junior, averaging 11.5 points, leads the team with 20 steals, and he will wear number 22. And the 5th starter for the Knights is Ryan Clare. He's a transfer from East Sac County, a 6'5 junior, averaging 15.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and he'll wear number 24. So we're going to see both Bating twins, Brock and Jack, along with Carson Canny, Tragan Biter, and Ryan Clare for the Knights, who bring a 7-0 record to the contest. And now for Dowling Catholic, the Maroons will go with their usual starting lineup. Coach Einertson hasn't altered that as of yet. Maroons come in with a 5-2 record. They average 59 points on offense, give up 52 points on defense, and they will start a 3-guard offense led by point guard Noah Martins, a 5'11 senior, leads the team with 12 made threes, and he averages 12.5 points. He'll wear number 11. The other guard, Nathan Jenkins, 6'1 junior, averaging 9.5 points. He'll wear number 2. And the third guard is Maddox Capola, 6'1 junior, averaging 6 points for Dowling. At one forward, Lucas Paoli, who we had on our post-game interview last night. Lucas, a 6'2 senior, averaging 7 points. And at center for the Maroons, Charlie Crane, a 6'9 junior, averaging 12 points and 6.5 rebounds, leads the team with 31 blocks. He'll wear number 10. And Dowling brings a 5-2 record. Head coach Justin Einertson in his second year, 17 wins, 14 losses. That's a look at the starters, Jimmy. Before we go to introductions here with our PA announcer, some of your thoughts on the keys to this game.
Well, as we talked to Coach Einertson last night, it's not really a game that they got to do a lot of X's and O's to really figure out on how to break Carroll Kuemper. This is the type of game that Dowling likes to play, this up and run transition type game, and Carroll Kuemper is going to put up a lot of points, and they're going to get out in transition. So it becomes just critically important that Dowling plays a defensive effort that they gave similar to last night. And I'm looking for guys like Maddox Capola to really break out in a game like this. Something that type of game that he likes to play where he can get out and get into transition, get his strength, take the ball to the basket, draw fouls, as we talked, has been his strengths. But Gio Keelis had some big shots last night coming off the bench. And so the Maroons got to find those type of players tonight to have really, really good games.
All right, and hear that voice, one of many new voices here at the Dowling Gym, and that is Jason Webb, the PA announcer. they moved Ted Power 2 chairs down. He is now working the scoreboard. I think he's got the shot clock today. So I asked Coach Wilson, I said, boy, you have a functioning unit there at the scorer's table. I realize Brian Hughes and Todd Crandall are stuck in their chairs. They're not going to do anything else, but that is awesome.
When you lose somebody like Denny O'Grady, who's done it for so long and for so many years and has been so consistent, it's one of those. It's one of the. How do you replace him? And it's kind of like replacing Bobby Knight. You don't want to be the guy that replaces Bobby Knight because you really can't fill those shoes. So as we find some, I think we're going to do a moment of silence for Denny at this point.
Right. We're going to take a break and come back with the tip-off, Dowling and Kuemper here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for programming comes from Klein Electric, a local family-oriented electrical contractor, a 100% employee-owned company with branches across the Midwest to provide comprehensive electrical services. Klein Electric is able to help with any residential and commercial project. Learn more at kleinelectric.com.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com, 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School, and welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School basketball. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting basketball, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Reed Flood. Let us pray together for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition this evening. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask that you bless all those involved in this athletic competition this evening. We ask that you keep them safe and that they show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Sebastian, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And we're underway. Tip-off between Dowling Catholic and Kuemper Catholic, the finals of the Catholic Classic here in boys basketball. And the Knights win the tip. They go underneath. Reverse layup to Ryan Clare is good. And it's 2-0 Kuemper Catholic as we start off here, Jimmy Cataldo.
Nice backdoor cut by Clare. Stands, 6'5", and so very athletic young man.
Dowling with the ball first. They get the ball inside, and now Jenkins loses it, and the Knights now in transition. Both teams like to run. They'll get up and down, and now a steal by Jenkins in the backcourt as he took the reverse pass by Tragan Biter from him, and another turnover, and Dowling with the ball. Maroons with Nathan Jenkins, Lucas Paoli, Charlie Crane, Noah Martins, and Maddox Capola, the 5 on the floor for Dowling to get the start. Maroons get it out top to Paoli. Right side it goes to Martins. Now they work the right wing corner. They get underneath the Crane. Layup good. Nice pass that time from the corner by Maddox Capola to Charlie Crane in the right block.
Type of game that Charlie Crane's got to have. He certainly has the experience of finding the block and getting position. He can get fed the ball many times tonight.
And the Knights dribble drive in the lane. There's not going to be any shot clock violations this afternoon. And a shot, or rather a pass by Jack Bading was deflected off a Dowling player. So the Knights will inbound the ball. We played a minute and a half, and Charlie Crane has no fouls.
No fouls.
So
I think
I'm marking this down. That's a turnaround. And Charlie's matched up with the big kid, Ryan St. Clair.
When it hits about 30 seconds, you see Quincy Moore starting to take off his warm-ups.
He still got him on.
on.
Quincy's waiting. Here's a shot in the baseline. It's no good, but rebounded by the Knights. And that was Tragan Biter with the rebound. And now the Knights start throwing the ball around. We got a whistle and a pushing foul on the Maroons. I think they're going to get Noah Martins for the push, and it'll be out of bounds to the Knights. Nope. they're going to get Lucas Paoli with the foul. He'll be out of bounds to the Knights and a brand new shot clock as we're tied at 2. Our officials this afternoon, Ethan Gordon, Tyler Havik rather, and Roger George as the Knights get loose underneath, and a shot up and good by number 22, Jack Beatty. So the Knights with a 2-0 lead, or a 2-point lead over Dowling. Maroons with the basketball. Here's Martin's driving baseline. He's double teamed. Gets it out to Coppola, and I'll tell you what, Maddox saved the ball from going halfway up the stands. Underneath the crane. Now he passes it over to Martins, and a whistle. And a violation as we got a whistle and a foul called on Ryan Clare, the big center for the Knights.
Just a type of game that if you're Coach Minahan, you've been looking forward to see how your team that has been so successful this year in Kuemper Catholic, how are they going to respond against a very active defensive team like Dowling, very athletic team like Dowling. Really measures where you're at in the season if you're Coach Minahan.
Here's Paoli, and he backs in, and he draws the foul. He was backing in on Carson Canny, and Canny commits the foul. It's foul number 2 on the Knights. Dowling will work the ball in out of bounds underneath their own basket as Maddox Coppola has a seat in the bench, and Gio Keelis, Mr. Offense from last night, enters the Dowling lineup. Maroons inbound the ball. This is Paoli with it. The Knights stay man-to-man. Lucas tried to go around, couldn't. Now he gets it out to Martins for 3. It's in and out, no good. And the rebound out to Jack Bating and the Knights of Kuemper Catholic. 4-2, Kuemper. Under 5 minutes to play first quarter from the Dowling Gym. Pleasant Saturday afternoon and Happy New Year to everyone as we interrupt weekend programming for the championship of the Catholic Classic hosted by Dowling Catholic. Mark Amadale alongside Jimmy Cataldo. Vinny Cataldo on the board, and a nice backdoor cut layup good by Brock Bating. They went backdoor there, and they worked the clock down, and they found a good shot there, Jimmy.
Fundamentally, they know how to move the court, find the open windows. Second backdoor cut by Carroll Kuemper in this early part of the game.
All right, here's Keelis with it. Gio almost lost the ball, and the ball was tipped in the backcourt, but was tipped by the Knights, and now the Maroons retain it. Here's Dowling. Jenkins for 3. It's in and out, no good. And a whistle and a loose ball foul on the Maroons. That foul will be on Charlie Crane, his first.
One thing that you see in back-to-back games is how healthy and how conditioned are your legs. And if you're a really good shooter, you get your legs into your shot. And sometimes when these shots come up a little bit short, it's a product of tired legs. And going back-to-back nights like this, or days, and in fact in games, it'd be interesting to see how healthy these legs are with these kids throughout this game.
Yeah, we're gonna find out for both teams. Although with Kuemper yesterday, they had a pretty one-sided win over Heelan, and now a corner shot from the baseline is no good by Reichs, who's in the lineup for Kuemper. Rebound comes out to Dowling after the missed shot, and Crane comes away with it. Dowling in the front court. They trail 6-2, and now a layup up and good. Nice dribble drive that time by Nathan Jenkins for his first 2 points of the afternoon. It's 6-4 Kuemper. Knights have led by as many as 4 here in this first quarter. 3:30 remaining. Run their motion offense. Corner 3 up and no good by Carson Canny, and the rebound out to Dowling. Maroons running. This is Nathan Jenkins with it. Leaves it for Coppola, and Maddox draws the foul. That'll be the 3rd team foul here in the first quarter on Kuemper Catholic, and that'll be on Bating. That'll be Jack Bating, his first. We have the Bating twins, Jack and Brock, both juniors.
2 things to really look at in this game is transition defense, because Carroll Kuemper is not going to let you celebrate any made baskets, but if you miss, you better be getting back as well. But transition defense is going to be important, and holding down the turnovers. The value of a possession is going to be huge.
Now there's a basket on the inbounds play, and they get it to Quincy Moore, who's in there for the Maroons, and Charlie Crane, who's on the bench, and he scores. We're tied at 6. The other way we go. Here's Schoen with it. Dylan Schoen off the bench, was a starter, and now is coming off the bench for Kuemper Catholic. Here's Biter with it, and he's nearly cut off. Underneath is Baiting. Jack with it. His shot up, no good. Ball slapped around, and Coppola has it for Dowling. Maddox with it. Gets in the corner. Underneath, reverse layup is no good by the Maroons and Noah Martins, and the ball kept alive by Dowling. Second chance points here. Jenkins through traffic. His shot no good. And the rebound out to Kuemper Catholic as we're tied at 6 with 2:20 left in the first quarter. Dylan Schoen with it, one of the first subs for the Knights. With it is Canny. He gets in the corner. They run their motion offense. Now Biter has it in the baseline. It's cut off nicely by Noah Martins. And staying in help defense. And now underneath, we got a charging foul. Gio Keelis draws the foul, or draws the charge. That foul will be on Carson Glenn, I believe. Yes, it is.
It's fun to watch right now how Dowling is playing physically on defense, bodying every player on the floor for Carroll Kuemper, and how they are responding to it. Because I'm sure Carroll Kuemper hasn't really seen a lot of this in the 7 games that they've played so far this year. So, again, very interesting to see that type of physical activity from the Maroons to see how Carroll Kuemper is going to respond.
And now Dowling with the ball. Underneath, they get it to Quincy Moore, and he has his 4th point, leads all scorers. The Maroons have their first lead, 8-6 over Kuemper Catholic. Minute 40 remaining here in the first quarter. That foul was on Griffin Glenn, 6-foot sophomore reserve for the Knights on that last possession. And now here's a shot up and no good. Bounces around and rebounded by Dylan Schoen. Schoen, 6'2 sophomore. He's been all over the place. And now here's a shot in the lane, no good. Rebound, who else? Dylan Moore, or Quincy Moore rather.
The Maroons,
some pretty good
have
minutes.
6 out of their 8 points have been from their centers, getting the ball around the rim. So they're having a lot of success getting close to the basket, high percentage shots. Continue to do so.
Do these two teams mirror each other a little bit, do you think?
Well,
just a little bit?
When Carroll Kuemper starts getting warm in the three-point arc, is I think that's when the Maroons really have to focus on making sure they shut off some of their three-point shooting, which has been a huge threat this year in Brock Baiting, as well as Dylan Schoen.
And when the Knights get the three and you got to go out and guard them, they can take you off the dribble.
Very athletic team in Carroll Kuemper.
All right, here's a three-pointer by Paoli, up and good. Lucas Paoli with the three-pointer from the right wing as Dowling inbounds the ball. It's the first 3 of the afternoon for the Maroons. 11-6, Dowling by 5 over the Knights of Carroll Kuemper. Here's a shot in the lane. It's no good. Rebound Dowling and Jenkins, and now he's fouled in the backcourt as they double team the Dowling junior, Nathan Jenkins. And that foul will be on Tragan Biter, his first, and it'll be the 15th foul on the Knights, and it'll be the double bonus for Dowling for the final 40 seconds of the first quarter here, Jimmy.
Maroons going to the line, shot really well last night from the free throw line. They shot 9 of 11 last night from the free throw line, and big points as uni tonight. Today, I keep saying tonight. I mean, my goodness.
This afternoon, sun's still out, Jimmy. I know you're not used to that with the 7:45 tips throughout the season. First free throw good by Nathan Jenkins, who has 3 points for Dowling Catholic. I want to thank our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. Without them, we couldn't bring you the broadcast. And they include Construction Professionals, Bozen the Florist, Blessman International, and Ashworth Vision Clinic. Second free throw by Dowling's Nathan Jenkins is good. He has 4 points. The Maroons now with a 13-6 lead. As Dowling up by 7. The Knights of Kuemper Catholic were up by 4 earlier in this first quarter. Final 30 seconds. About a 4-second differential in the shot clock. Here's a shot in the lane. It's no good. Rebounded by Dylan Schoen. And he's done it all coming off the bench. Shoots and scores.
Schoen's the leading scorer for this Carroll Kuemper team, averaging about 14 points a game. And he's coming off the bench. So playing a lot of minutes this year as Dylan Schoen, taking advantage of everyone he's got. Averaging 14 points.
Well, as I mentioned, the 6'5 post kid became eligible, and they bumped Schoen out. But, yeah, he is their leading scorer. Now Coppola in the lane. His shot up and no good, and drew the foul with 1 second remaining. Foul on Kuemper Catholic, and it'll be on Ryan Clare, their 6'5 post player, and that's his second foul.
We know that's Maddox's strength, is getting the ball to the basket, drawing fouls. Shown that a lot in the last few games, and continue to do so. He's going to find so many more points attacking the basket, drawing fouls, getting himself to the free throw line.
Coppola, an 80% free throw shooter, hits the first free throw. This afternoon's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Skevington Formal Wear, Mercy One, Fast Signs and Clive, and Catholic Tuition Organization. Second free throw by Maddox, no good. And they're going to wave the shot off. That ends up being short as the horn ends. And that signals the end of the first quarter here at the Dowling Catholic Gym in West Des Moines. Our score, Dowling Catholic 14, Kuemper Catholic out of Carroll 8. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Hamadell. We'll be back with the second quarter of this championship game in the Catholic Classic on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Welcome to Faith Check. In Romans and Galatians, St. Paul warns about those trying to justify themselves before God by following the works of the law. To properly understand this, we must look at the historical context in which it was written. As we read in the Acts, there was a group in the early church called the Judaizers, which taught that Gentile converts to Christianity must be circumcised and follow the kosher laws. Paul says in no uncertain terms that those trying to be saved through these Old Testament works of the law have rejected Christ and lost their salvation. The attitude of the Judaizers is contrasted with the faith of Abraham, who trusted and obeyed God, even to the point of offering his own son Isaac. Paul's point is not that our works cannot affect our salvation, but rather that these particular Jewish rituals were not necessary for eternal life. For the same Romans that teaches that a man is justified by faith apart from works of the law in 3:28, also says that God shows no partiality, for he will render to everyone according to his works in chapter 2. There is no contradiction as long as we correctly understand what Paul actually meant by the works of the law. This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
Welcome back to the Dowling Gym. The Maroons had the first possession of the second quarter, and Lucas Paoli finds Charlie Crane underneath, and Charlie shoots and scores from the left block. The Maroons open up a 16-8 lead over the Knights of Carroll Kuemper, and they have Crane now for 4 points. Now here's the Knights underneath. They put up a shot. It's good by Dylan Schoen, and boy, he's making it tough for Coach Minahan, saying, you're going to bring me off the bench? Maybe I should not have lost my starting lineup.
Well, Schoen shows a ton of confidence, understands his role. He's still a scorer, regardless if he's coming off the bench. But great rotation defense down by Nate Jenkins, but shown his athleticism, which we saw a little bit last night, and hearing this early in the ballgame. And we mentioned Ryan Clare, the 6'5 post player. He's on the bench with 2 fouls, did not get the start here in the second quarter. Now a three-pointer up good by Dowling's Noah Martins. That's his first 3 of the afternoon. And Dowling with a 9-point lead, 19-10 over Carroll Kuemper in the championship game of the Catholic Classic. And now down court, layup is no good by Schoen, but he's going to go to the free throw line. Foul on Dowling. Foul's going to go on Charlie Crane, his second foul. And just on cue, Quincy comes off the bench and going to be coming in for Charlie. 2 fouls, 4 points. Really active first half, at least for Charlie Crane, as we've seen. And
all right, free throws coming for Dylan Schoen, a 62% free throw shooter on the air. Shooting 74% from the field is this young man. That's a sophomore for the Knights. Misses the first free throw as Quincy Moore checks in for Dowling, the 6'5", 200-pound senior.
One thing Charlie Crane's just going to have to learn is that not every shot's going to be a block. He's in the top of the category in Class 4A in block shots per game, and not every shot can be a block. He's going to draw so many fouls by doing that. Just be long, be lengthy, play defense.
Now pressure by the Knights, 2-2-1 full court press. They throw it across the timeline, and fortunately for Dowling, their strongest player, in my opinion, Maddox Capola, had to wrestle through 2.5 guys. I say half because another guy got in there and foul called, and they called it on Brock Bating, his first. Now turnover by Dowling. So each team with a foul each, and all the way down is Schoen. Layup is no good, drew the foul. And they're going to get Capola, I think, for the foul. And they will. So Maddox picks up his first foul. Second team foul on Dowling here in the second quarter. Maroons lead it by 8, 19-11. 6.5 minutes remaining, second quarter. Glad you could join us from the Dowling Gym in the championship game of the Catholic Classic. Earlier this afternoon, it was Cedar Rapids Xavier defeating Heelan 54-51 to capture third place. Schoen hits the first free throw. Second one on the way, good. So he's now 3 of 4 at the line and has 7 points off the bench. 19-13 Dowling. Let's get it across the timeline. Poking pressure that time by the Knights of Kuemper Catholic. And now dribbling baseline. Now corner three by Jenkins, no good. Out of bounds. And they say it went off of. Now, officials are going to have to get together as the baseline official was blocked out.
A little discussion on who knocked the ball out here. And
well, Quincy Moore came flying in there. So did Carson Canny. And they're going to give it to Kuemper Catholic. Good job. Great teamwork there because you don't have the review here in high school.
I mean, and Dowling is really tight with the walls. It's hard for you to get angles in certain positions as the officials, but working together, from my advantage, looks like to be the right call.
19-13, Dowling with the lead. 6 minutes to play. Second quarter. Corner three is no good by Tragan. Biter, rebound Dowling. Maroons advance the ball in the front court. Here's Nathan Jenkins with it. And he gets it inside to Paoli, and he loses out of bounds. But both teams trying to really amp up the pace. Keep in mind, we're not playing on the college floor. We're playing on a high school floor, and there's about a 9-foot disadvantage. But these two teams, can you imagine them on a college court?
You start running, and you get about 5 steps, and you hit about
a wall.
The baseline, and so both teams realize real quick that getting out and run may not be the best thing to do, but yet. Physicality in the defense. Maroons are contesting about every shot. Give it to Carroll Kuemper as they're playing up-tempo defense with them.
Here's a long three by Jack Bating. It's no good from left wing. Rebound Dowling. And here's Nathan Jenkins for the Maroons. Dribble handoff to Martins. Top of the key. The Knights stay in man-to-man defense. 5:15 remaining in the first half. Dowling by 6. 19-13. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Martins with it. He'll launch the three, top of the key. It's up and off the rim, no good. And a rebound, Dylan Schoen for the Knights. With it is Griffith Glenn. He dribbles in the lane. His shot no good. Rebound, Jenkins and Dowling. Nathan's gobbled up quite a few rebounds tonight. Gio is in the game for Dowling. His shot up and good. Oh, what a move by Keelis, who just came in at that last dead ball, and he shoots and scores. Foul on Kuemper Catholic.
Real strong take by Gio Keelis as he worked around his man. Wide open was Quincy Moore on the baseline begging for the ball, but Gio finds his avenue and takes the ball hard to the basket and gets rewarded with an and one.
Keelis with quite the night last night. 18 points. Off the bench. He had 6 at halftime. Had 12 in the second half, and he completes the traditional three-point play. Keelis off the bench with 3 points. Dowling's lead is 9. And now inside, a shot up and good by Cedar Rapids, by Kuemper Catholic. And let's see who they whistled that on.
So they're going to call a technical foul on Dowling's bench as I see Coach Nicholson, who has the defense, and Carroll Kuemper is transitioning themselves down the court. Coach Nicholson is all over his players about getting back on defense, and the officials misidentify what he was doing and call a technical on Dowling's bench.
I think they just overturned that.
I think they did. And that's the right call.
Yeah.
The Dowling bench, those guys were.
And now the Kuemper Catholic coaching staff saying, hey, wasn't that a technical foul? They don't want that to go away. Because a couple things happen here. Number one, Coach Einertson resulted into a seatbelt rule where he cannot coach standing up. He'll have to be back on the bench like back in the old days. And so I think they took the technical off the board, and now they're going to tell the official book that there is no technical foul. Reset the shot clock. Got to get that back in play, and they're just going to play on.
But go back to the
22-15 is our score. Dowling with the lead, 4.5 left. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Go back to the play as Dowling makes the free throw. You almost get a whiplash on how quick they get the ball back down the floor. So again, transition is the way Carroll Kuemper is playing this game, and the Maroons got to respond in getting their transition defense back because Carroll Kuemper is very, very quick.
Dowling by 7. Here's Keelis with it. It's in the corner to Jenkins. Underneath the Moore. Quincy travels with the basketball. He thought about shooting and took the extra step, and now Maddox Coppola will get off the bench and check in.
Right call. Quincy probably had his initial move was probably the right move to go to the basket, but took one extra step, got caught in the lane.
I'd like to see him shoot the ball because Claire has 2 fouls, and you never know.
That's a great point. And Quincy's had a lot of success coming off the bench inside with 4 points. And Quincy's got to know that situation himself.
All right, Claire with it. He's matched up with Moore. Fall-away jumper, good. Strong move by Ryan Claire, the 6'5 junior transfer to Kuemper Catholic. And he's got 4. 22-17. Dowling's lead now 5. The Knights have had a 4-point lead in the first half. Dowling's largest lead has been 9. Currently it's at 5 with 3:45 remaining.
Dowling can find some mismatches. Carroll is switching on every pick. Find the mismatches on the switch defense.
There it is with Quincy Moore on the baseline. Dowling with it. Here's Coppola. They've worked the ball right side to Jenkins. Back to Coppola. Corner 3, right wing, short. And the rebound comes out to Jack Bating and the Kuemper Knights. All right, here is Griffin Glenn. They work on inside to Claire, and his shot up and good. So Ryan Claire has 4 of his 6 points here in the second quarter. And it's a 3-point Dowling lead with 3:10 remaining.
And right on cue, Carroll goes to that man press to make sure Dowling doesn't get out and start running in their transition. Runs their pace when it gets to defense and then takes their pace when they're on offense.
Here's Coppola with it. Run the dribble weave to Keelis for 3. Good! Gio Keelis quiets the crowd behind us. He's got 6 points off the bench for the Maroons. And it's 25-19. And now in the lane, a shot up and finally falls through. Good by Tragan Biter. It's his first basket for Kuemper Knights. 25-21, Dowling by 4. 2.5 to go. Foul situation. Both teams with 2 fouls each. Both teams have their full allotment of timeouts. All right, here's Martins with it. Gets it out to Jenkins. Nathan in the lane. Dribble drives. Kicks it out to Moore. Quincy with it. Backs in, and a blocking foul called on Carson Canny. That'll be his second on Carroll Kuemper. And a lot of players setting. We're going to have almost the hockey line change. Each team with 2 substitutions each. Moore and Jenkins check out for Dowling. Checking in for the Maroons will be Lucas Paoli and Charlie Crane.
Well, as we know, Dowling seems to go about 7 deep, and we've seen Carroll Kuemper go as many as 9, 10 deep throughout the season. Maybe a little bit less in a tight game against Dowling this afternoon.
Out for Kuemper Catholic is Ryan Claire. Now reverse layup good as Lucas Paoli found a little bit of a seam down the lane. Reverse layup from the left side, 27-21, Dowling by 6. Under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter from the Dowling Gym. Glad you could join us on a Saturday afternoon. Championship game of the Catholic Classic. Mark Amadale and Jimmy Cataldo bringing you the game. Here's a long 3 by Brock Bating. It's no good. Rebound Dowling and Charlie Crane. Outlet pass nearly stolen away, but here's Martins with it. Gets it out to Keelis for 3. In and out, no good. Crane with the follow. It's good. As they didn't get him blocked out, Dylan Schoen was late getting down, and Crane scores. Now the Knights the other way. Here's a shot in the baseline. It's no good by Griffin Glenn. And the rebound, Keelis. Here's Coppola. Maddox with it. Tries to find a seam. Pull-up jumper, in and out, no good. Crane with the rebound, and he's fouled. And they're going to say he's fouled while on the rebound with the out of bounds to Dowling here, Jimmy.
Great job by Crane. The possession before, following the shot. Dowling on the fast break. Kick out to Gio. Ball in and out, but Charlie following the play with the hustle gets an easy putback. And that's what the Maroons got to find. Offensive rebound, puts back. They're having a lot of success around the basket with their offensive shots and offensive rebounds.
How about Dowling going to a 5-guard offense here, because both Charlie Crane and Quincy Moore are on the bench with 1:10 to play as Crane just came out. Now reverse layup, no good by Martins. He got caught too far underneath the basket for the shot. Rebound out to Kuemper Catholic. Here's Glenn with it. Switches over to Bating. Now coming off a ball screen here is his brother Jack Bating. They get underneath the Schoen, layup good. Nice move by Dylan Schoen off the bench with 9 points for the Kuemper Knights.
Well controlled in the air was Schoen with contest defense. Puts the ball in pretty easy.
Now here's Dowling with the ball, and I got a reach-in foul called on Kuemper Catholic as Jenkins was attacking the glass. That foul will be on Brock Bading, his second. It'll be out of bounds, or rather free throws coming, because that is the 5th foul on Kuemper Catholic. And free throws coming for Lucas Paoli. He'll get 2 here. This afternoon's game on Iowa Catholic Radio, brought to you in part by Construction Professionals, Mercy One. And Mr. Cataldo, have you called Skevington's Formal Wear about your situation
it's
for
getting
next
close.
year? It's getting close.
They may have to order out they may not have the inventory they need for.
Both free throws are, 1 out of 2 there?
1 out of 2.
1 out of 2 for Paoli. Second one no good. So Paoli with 6 points. And rebound Kuemper Catholic. And they go down court. A shot up, no good. Rebound Dowling and Coppola.
Saw all 4 Maroons attacking the basket to get the rebound. And that's something, if you're Coach Einertson and their coaching staff, you love to see. Everybody attacking the basket with one guy back for the transition.
All right, here's Martins, guarded by Bider. Remember, there's no 5-second closely guarded call anymore in high school basketball. Now here's Jenkins down the baseline. His shot up and good with 3 seconds remaining in the half. Half-court shot up, and that was close, but it was off. No good, and we go to halftime with Dowling enjoying its largest lead of the night, 32-23. Over the Knights from Carroll Kuemper in the championship game of the Catholic Classic. And Jimmy, it'll be right now. It's just you and I here will be for halftime. So we're going to take a 2-minute break so we get all your stats caught up.
And that's why you brought me in, because you oftentimes you're such dead air that you need filler. And this is the role I play. Is I take this filling time that you just struggle to find.
Here's what I'm concerned about. When you do filler, you start throwing members of your family gradually, one by one, under the bus. And poor Vinny, back at our Iowa Catholic Radio studio, one of your relatives, he bowls a great game, and you throw him under the bus right away because he didn't get a 200 last night in his bowling game.
Well, I took the over. With my son.
I said,
Vinny is going to shoot over 200, and just conspicuously, he shoots 199, and I lose. I think Vinny was a little bit on the take last night.
Vinny Cataldo, you are a winner in my book no matter what one of your relatives thinks, and that's how I'm going to go with it. Halftime score of the championship game of the Boys Catholic Classic here at Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines. Dowling 32, the Kuemper Knights 23. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, at least for a while, I'm Mark Amadale. Back in 2 minutes here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from the Catholic Tuition Organization. Reduce or eliminate your Iowa income tax and instead give to the Catholic Tuition Organization and receive 75% Iowa tax credits. These tax credits are going fast, so reserve yours today and learn more about the Catholic Tuition Organization at ctoiowa.org. ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their futures.
Catholic Tuition Organization, a great investment in our kids.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. ashworthvision.com.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Christmas Minute. Have you ever heard people object to gold and gilded ornaments in a Catholic church? Have you ever heard them question the purpose of burning incense? How do we answer them? Simple. We answer them by pointing out the 3 gifts of the wise men at Christmas. If gold and incense can be brought to a stable, they can certainly be brought to a church. What do these 3 gifts mean? G.K. Chesterton says they represent 3 prophecies about the Christ child. Gold, that he should be crowned like a king. Frankincense, that he should be worshipped like a god. And myrrh, that he should be buried like a man. The first 2 are marvelous and obvious. The third is a wonder. Want more than a minute? Visit our website at chesterton.org.
Love this funk music that your relative's playing for us there, Jimmy Cataldo. Our thanks to Vinny Cataldo back at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios. Halftime here at Dowling as the Maroons lead Kuemper Catholic 32-23 in the championship game of the Catholic Classic. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, and what a first half we saw. 32-23. I think I've seen some final scores back in my day be that score. If I don't remember, we'll go back before the shot clock and maybe on the girls' side sometimes, but pretty good scoring game here in the first half, Jimmy.
We talked about this is the type of game that Dowling loves to play, this up-tempo transition type game where they are their most comfortable. And you go back to the Johnston game where Johnston really slows it down. They body you before you even get to half court, really slows down everything. And you saw how uncomfortable Dowling played in that game. And so it's the product of what these young kids like to do. They like to get out and run, move around. The Maroons find the good shooting. Gio Keelis, again, stays hot with his three-point shooting. But the Maroons have played great defense and is forcing a very high percentage three-pointing team in Carroll Kuemper into no three-point shots made in the first half. So Maroons playing really, really good defense outside the paint to keep Carroll Kuemper into a 0 for 7 shooting and three-point range in the first half.
All right, let's take a look at some of the scoring in the first half, Jimmy. First of all, for the folks from Kuemper Catholic, and they have quite a contention of red and gold behind me.
Well-educated basketball fan base is Carroll Kuemper. You listen to them, they get in the game, they understand what goes on in the court, what's a foul, what's not a foul, what's a violation, what's not a violation. So real well-educated group in Carroll Kuemper as a very good basketball fan base.
I think they're helping you along is what I think they're doing. I really believe that because they've been very knowledgeable. I would concur on that. Let's take a look at their scoring. Dowling leading at halftime 32-23 over the Knights. Dylan Schoen off the bench trying to show that, hey, Coach, I know we had a kid that just moved in and he's taller than me and you need him for a center, but Schoen off the bench, the sophomore with 9 points for Kuemper Catholic to lead them in scoring. Ryan Clare, the kid who took his spot, has 6 points. 4 points for Jack Bading, and 2 points each for Tragan Biter and Brock Bading. And let's see, Carson Canny, one of their other starters, has not scored in this first half. For Dowling Catholic, the Maroons with 7 players in scoring, led by Lucas Paoli with 8 points at halftime. He's followed by Charlie Crane with 6 points. Gio Keelis off the bench with 6 points. 4 points for Nathan Jenkins. Off the bench, Quincy Moore with 4 points. And 3 points for Noah Martins. Maddox Capola with 1 point. Dowling 5 of 7 at the free throw line. Kuemper Catholic 3 of 4 at the free throw line. Maroons jumped out to a 14-8 first quarter lead. And Jimmy, the Maroons outscored Kuemper Catholic 18-15 in the second quarter to lead by 9 here at halftime, 32-23. What are some of your statistical numbers say?
So Maroons shot 50% in the first half. That includes 3 of 9 from 3 and 8 of 13 from the field. 14 total rebounds and just 4 turnovers. For Carroll Kuemper, shot 40% from the field. As I mentioned, 0 of 7 from 3, 10 rebounds, and only 2 turnovers. And you go back to last night in the Maroons, shot 31 three-point shots last night, and finding their advantages in the paint with a little bit smaller group in Carroll Kuemper, and guys like Charlie Crane and Quincy Moore are finding high percentage shots, but also back cuts. Lucas Paoli taking the ball to the basket as well. Maroons finding really good shots inside the paint, but again, can't fall asleep on Carroll Kuemper. They're a tremendous shooting team. Waiting to see this Brock Bading catch fire as he's one of the top three-point shooters in the entire state of Iowa.
Yeah, how about a tournament going on in Cedar Rapids at the Powerhouse Arena, formerly known as the U.S. Cellular Center, formerly known as, I forgot the other name, but they had quite a few. They got a big tournament there in Cedar Rapids. First game, or earlier today, was Cedar Rapids Prairie taking on Ames. That was the 11:30 game. Right now it's Linn-Mar taking on Ankeny. The 4 o'clock game has Dubuque Senior taking on Waukee Northwest. Kennedy, who played in the championship game last year against Valley. Kennedy and Johnston matched up at 5:30, and the big one, I think, and you kind of mentioned it, Johnston and Cedar Falls. Cedar Falls, we believe, might be the number 1 team in Class 4A as rankings come out tomorrow, taking on the defending champs Valley. That's a 7 o'clock game tonight at the what they now call the Alliant Energy Powerhouse Arena in Cedar Rapids.
What a tremendous matchup in that 7 o'clock game. As you mentioned, Cedar Falls with rankings coming out tomorrow or Monday. That's a likely 1 versus 2 matchup in an early part of January. So be really interested to see how that transpires. We know Zay Robinson is more healthy than he has been coming off of a football injury. So Valley is at full strength coming off of the Cedar Falls team that watching them in the first half of this season playing about as good as basketball as any team, any class in the state of Iowa.
We'll take a 1-minute break and we'll return for the second half of this afternoon's championship game here in the Catholic Classic at Dowling Catholic High School. Dowling 32, Kuemper Catholic from Carroll 23, and we'll return for the second half in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Encounter the Eucharist, an evening with Father Mike Schmitz, Wednesday, April 2nd at the Iowa Event Center in downtown Des Moines. This limited seating event allows for an intimate conversation about faith that will inspire a deeper relationship with Jesus.
When you see the Lord lifted up like this, you are looking at Calvary. You're participating in his restoration of the world.
Encounter the Eucharist, an evening with Father Mike Schmitz. Go to iowacatholicradio.com and reserve your seat now. Presented by BSB Design.
Brightside Aesthetics by Ducharme Dermatology provides advanced and medical aesthetics, body contouring, wellness, and spa services. Learn more at brightsideiowa.com. Thank you, Brightside Aesthetics, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One. Live your best life with Mercy One. With Iowa's largest network of care locations, personalized care is right in your neighborhood. Schedule online at mercyone.org.
And welcome back to the Dowling Gym, underway here in the second half as Dowling and Kuemper Catholic, and a whistle and a foul on the Maroons to start things off, as they're going to get Maddox Capola with his second foul. 32-23, Dowling with the lead, and there'll be a shooting foul for the Saints. Ryan Clare will go to the line. He had 6 points at halftime. He got the start at center today for the Kuemper Knights. Mark Amadeo alongside Jimmy Cataldo to bring you the second half here from the Dowling Gym. Our next broadcast will be Monday night. Dowling at Southeast Polk. Now some of the schedule's still out, and I just checked before I got here, Jimmy. Say the game is at Dowling. That game is at Southeast Polk due to a conflict. So it'll be Dowling at Southeast Polk. We'll be on the air at 6 o'clock this Monday night from the Southeast Polk Gym. Second free throw is good by Ryan Clare, so he goes 1 for 2. The Saints now 4 of 6 at the free throw line this afternoon. 32-24, Dowling by 8. The Maroons' largest lead has been 9 points. The Saints' largest lead has been 4.
Carroll Kuemper coming out in the second half playing a 2-3 zone against the Maroons, something that the Maroons don't see a ton of. It's really going to force to see if they can find those holes in the zone.
Now a fall-away jumper no good by Capola. He was looking for a foul, didn't get it. Now the Saints the other way, and a shot up and no good, and a whistle. And a foul called on Dowling on the missed shot.
Charlie Crane's third foul.
Well, Quincy has not gotten the okay yet to go in. Quincy Moore is the backup center for the Maroons, and they're going to let free throws happen here. Carson Canny, who was scoreless in the first half. The left-hander free throw first one is good. Canny, averaging 6.5 points and 3.5 rebounds, was held scoreless until now. 71% free throw shooter, second one good. So he's got his first 2 points, does Canny, the 5'11 senior for Kuemper. 32-26 Dowling, 2-2-1 full court press by the Saints. Dowling gets it across. Sometimes that press is just a token press, and sometimes they're going to trap the corner. Now a three-pointer by the Maroons, good. Nice shot that time by Noah Martins, his second 3 of the afternoon.
You'd love to see it, especially as Carroll comes out into that zone. Noah Martins hitting that shot may force them to get into more man-to-man, which is more of a comfort zone for the Maroons.
Now the Knights with it. Now corner 3 coming by Bider. It's no good. Rebound Dowling and Jenkins. Outlet pass goes to Paoli. And Lucas in the lane. A head fake and a shot with the left hand. Up and no good. He drew the foul. The foul will be on the Knights. The 2 free throws coming for the Maroons. That foul will be on Brock Bating, his third. And our post-game guest last night, goes to the free throw line. You weren't giving any coaching tips, were you? I hope not.
Well,
Lucas is.
The way Lucas is playing, he doesn't want any coaching tips from me.
That's what I was wondering. I'm really concerned about that. First free throw, no good, so you might have been talking to him.
You obviously talked to him a little about free throws.
No, you're funny. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'll get all the parents upset. They'll be right over here. I like these Knights fans behind us. They're good people. Second free throw good by Paoli. Paoli, he's got 9 points. 36-26, Dowling by 10. Maroon's largest lead here in the second half. 6:20 remaining. Here's Clare with it. Goes against Crane, who's still in there with 3 fouls. Back to Clare and a little give and go. Now Clare will shoot a 15-footer left wing, no good. And Coppola rips it out of there. And he had to take off Biter, who was all over him. And the Maroons get the rebound. And here's Coppola with it. Dribbles baseline, now kicks it out. Jenkins with it, fakes the 3, goes in the lane. Gets it to Crane. 20 on the shot clock. Crane a fall-away jumper, off the rim, no good. Hit the rim twice. And the rebound out to Jack Bating. And the Kuemper Knights. Well, Bating, three-pointer fall-away, it's no good. It's cold shooting here for both teams here, Jimmy. Rebound Dowling.
Well, Carroll Kuemper 0 of 9 now for the game from the three-point range, which is way out of their statistical margins. And
a team that comes in averaging 85 points in a 32-minute game. And now here's Crane, a turnaround jumper with the left hook, no good. Rebound the Knights. Dowling comes in averaging 59 points. So both teams right now are going to struggle to get to their average. Knights with it, and now a near steal by Jenkins, recovered by Biter, and the Knights now with 15 on the shot clock. Here's Bating with it underneath, and a little give and go. Nice move by Bating as he fed Ryan Clare for the basket, and he's got 9 points.
Really good find as Charlie Crane came and contested the layup, finding Clare across the lane for an easy putback.
36-28 Dowling. 4:45 to go. Here's Coppola in the lane to Crane's layup, good. Nice feed by Coppola. He had to make the pass through traffic, and Charlie Crane with his 8th point.
Carroll Kuemper is struggling to find defense around the Dowling post players in Crane and when Quincy Moore's in.
See Rapid Xavier fans still here. The coach is in the doorway over there on the south end as the Knights now with the basketball going right to left towards the south basket in their red uniforms with gold numbers and trim. Remind me of Iowa State, but I like Kuemper. Shot up and no good.
That's awful.
Rebound Dowling. I like this red and gold though. All right, here's Dowling with the ball. They feed it to Crane. Layup good. In that series, Paoli got kind of boxed out. He found Crane for the basket, and he has 10 points.
You look at where Carroll Kuemper's struggling a little bit on offense, and you give it a little bit of the edge to Dowling's defense. Every shot that Carroll's taking, Dowling has a large hand and arm up into their face, contesting each shot, which makes it a really, really tough thing to do with somebody contesting that with long arms, big hands into your shot.
Now, Kuemper Catholic on their offensive end draws the foul. Martins for Dowling picks up the foul. Crane and Paoli will check out for the Maroons, and Gio Keelis will check in. Gio is 6'3" junior for the Maroons, along with Quincy Moore, the 6'5" senior. Brand new shot clock now due to the foul on Dowling for Kuemper Catholic. Biter gets it to Schoen, and he has been a instant offense for Kuemper Catholic. Now a backdoor cut, layup good. As Coppola got caught up in all of that, and shooting and scoring off the cut is the Knights.
Biter with a great cut across the lane, finding an easy layup.
Biter with his 4th point. Now we've got a whistle and a pushing foul on the Knights. And you wonder how long they're going to let him, hand check, because that's not something you're really supposed to do once you have the ball. And that fouls on number 5. Biter with his 2nd foul. So 40-30, Dowling by 10. Here's Martins in the lane. He has the ball stolen away by Griffin Glenn, who's off the bench for the Knights. Carroll Kuemper the other way. Here's Schoen with it. Guarded by Quincy Moore. Now they leave it for Bating. It's Jack Bating. Dribbles in the baseline, kicks it out to Biter for 3. It's no good. Rebound Keelis and Dowling. One and done are the Knights. Can't wait to hear your updated stats at the end of the third quarter. Maroons in transition. Keyless for three. It's no good. Lids on both baskets. Rebound Kuemper Catholic with 2:35 to go in the third quarter. Dowling 40 and the Kuemper Knights 30. Halftime, it was 32-23 Dowling, which we thought would be a medium scoring. And it's ended up being a defensive battle here, and whistling a foul on Dowling as the Knights have the basketball. Keyless will pick up his first foul, Jimmy.
You see how the game has slowed down a little bit. Both teams are really hustling back, setting up their defenses, not allowing either team to really run out off of missed shots, and that's where things have slowed up a little bit, slowed down the scoring output.
Now Griffith Glenn, 6-foot sophomore at the free throw line, and he hits the first free throw. That might have ended a scoring drought that we've had for both teams. Glenn, a 92% free throw shooter on the year. Officials say, hey, guys, tuck your shirts in. And Glenn will attempt his second free throw. And it's good. That's his first 2 points of the afternoon for Glenn. Griffith Glenn played early in the first half, did not score, and now has his first 2 points. So our score is 40-32, Dowling by 8. Runs in the front court. Here's Keyless with it. Dribble handoff goes to Martins. Noah with it. Gets it to Jenkins. Nathan with it to Keyless for three. It's off the back iron, no good. And a rebound, Kuemper. Now Cammy the other way, and it goes off his chest out of bounds. Good job by Keyless hustling back there, Jimmy.
Great job on the transition. As you look at the Maroons, most of them are watching that shot where we saw many of them crashing the board on Keyless's three-point shot. The Maroons were sitting there watching rather than attacking. Carol Kuemper gets out running, but Keyless hustling back on defense, forcing the ball off of Biter's knee, I believe.
Dowling advanced the ball to the front court. Dowling going left to right towards the north basket in their home white uniforms, and now we got a charging foul called on Jenkins. Nathan took one extra dribble and picks up his first foul. This afternoon's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, Mercy One, Fast Signs in Clive, and the Catholic Tuition Organization. Mark Amadale alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Vinny Cataldo at our studios, and look at the scoreboard, Jimmy, and we have not had a timeout. Both teams have 5 each left. Now here in the lane, a shot too strong, no good by Ryan Clare. Rebound Kuemper Catholic, and they'll get a brand new shot clock out of the whole thing. Knights running their offense. On the baseline is Baiting. That is Brock Baiting. As they work their motion offense, back out to Brock Baiting, looking for a ball screen by Schoen. Baiting drives baseline, hits the side of the backboard with the shot. It's no good. Rebound Jenkins and Dowling.
This is where Dowling's got to find that miss and run, and they're just slowing up.
Coppola for three, and it's good. How about that? Maddox Coppola with his 4th point, and what a great time for that. 43-32, Dowling by 11.
Maddox hit a big shot last night, and they talked about him getting the weight of the world off his shoulders and looked much more comfortable there. Big 3-point answer by Brock Baiting, coming back for Carol Kuemper.
And a timeout called after that made basket by Baiting, so our score will be a 30-second timeout. 43-35, Dowling by 8 over the Kuemper Knights with 54 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. As I want to go to you.
It's the first 3-point made field goal for Carol Kuemper
in the
on
game.
The night. So that's now one of 11.
They had 52 made threes coming into the contest. Dowling came in with 44 made threes, so you know the Knights like to shoot it, and we saw that last week.
Yeah, but a little bit of it is playing back-to-back nights. A little bit of it is Dowling's defense always putting a big hand on the shot, and that's just a tough thing that maybe Carol's not used to. Haven't been able to see these young men play much over the year, but certainly this is something that they haven't seen a lot of is Dowling's athleticism, defensive prowess, and the way they play this game.
All right, Dowling with the basketball after the made 3-point basket by the Knights and Brock Baiting. 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Keyless with it for the Maroons. Gets it out to Paoli. Charlie Crane returned to the lineup with 3 fouls, and now Keyless for 3. It's no good. Rebound Crane. Gets it underneath, and a layup is good. Great pass underneath by Crane as he saw Paoli with the cut.
Tremendous look by Crane as 3 guys claps down on him. Found Paoli cutting on the backside of the basket.
Crane with 10 points, and that he gets the assist there, and Paoli with his 11th point. 45-35, Dowling by 10. 10 seconds left. Top of the key for 3. It's no good by Brock Bating. Rebound Dowling and Maddox Capola. Capola, half-court shot at the horn. Hits the backboard. It's no good. And we've come to the end of the third quarter here at the Dowling Catholic Classic with the score. Dowling Catholic 45. The Kuemper Knights from Carroll 35 alongside Jimmy Cataldo. I'm Mark Amadale. We'll return with the fourth quarter in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
There's so many religions out there. How can I know which one's right?
Catholicism is, but you don't have to take my word for it. You can take God's word for it, because out of all the religions in the world, Catholicism is the only one that was founded by God. No other religion even claims such a thing. While they focus on their search for God, or to understand some prophet or another, we're alone in saying that the one true God of the universe sought us out by actually becoming man, founding a church, and giving us a line of apostles to keep it going. Now, there's plenty of rational, historically verifiable evidence for our faith, like the fact that all of Jesus' closest friends died horrible deaths rather than deny that he was God. But beyond that, Catholicism is also the most inspiring place to look, because it's the only religion that offers complete forgiveness and unconditional love. So check it out. It won't disappoint. For more, go to youngcatholicminute.com.
And we're back here at the Dowling Catholic Gym in West Des Moines. Fourth quarter underway. Dowling 45, Kuemper Catholic out of Carroll 35. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. Dowling with the ball first. Here's Crane for 3. It's no good. And a rebound, Dylan Schoen and the Knights of Kuemper Catholic. Dowling outscoring Kuemper Catholic 13-12 in that third quarter. Runs with a 10-point lead. And had the first possession there and couldn't knock the shot down, Jimmy.
Not quite the shot that maybe they were looking for is Charlie Crane on the baseline. Earlier in that possession, Charlie had the block and had Claire blocked off. Didn't find him.
Now a block shot by Crane as Claire had his shot blocked. Claire gets the rebound and puts the shot back up, and he drew the foul. And this foul will be on Dowling and Lucas Paoli in his second foul. What a flurry there. How about Charlie Crane?
Close to being
goaltending.
The foul on Charlie Crane, which would have been his fourth, but calling the foul on Lucas Paoli, his second foul. Charlie sitting at 3.
Right, Claire to the free throw line. First one up and good. Claire with 10 points this afternoon. It's now 2 of 3 at the free throw line. The Knights were 5 of 6 at the free throw line in that third quarter, Jimmy. And we'll get some numbers here from you. Second free throw, good by Claire. 10 points. Make it 11. 45-37, Dowling. 2-2-1 full court press by the Knights. Dowling advanced the ball across the timeline, and they'll set their offense. 9 timeouts on the board to be used. We'll see if they are. Now here's Dowling with the ball. A nice little give and go. Layup good by Lucas Paoli. And what a pass that time by Jenkins.
Both teams are cutting back door and finding success with that. But Maroons finding Jenkins cutting back door for the easy backdoor layup.
Here's Claire underneath. His shot up. Rolls off the rim. No good. Fight for the rebound. Out of bounds to Dowling as Claire fouled his shot, but he stepped on the baseline when he made contact with the ball.
So first, let's see, our third quarter stats are through 3 quarters. Maroons 16 of 34 from the field, which includes 5 of 16 from 3. 22 total rebounds, 6 turnovers for Carol Kuemper. 13 of 36 for the game, 1 of 12 from 3. 16 rebounds and only 3 turnovers.
There's Jenkins in the corner for 3. It rolls around the rim. Hits it 3 times, and it's no good. And some Maroons had an advantage there on their break. Rebound, Kuemper Catholic, 47-37, Dowling by 10, and now reverse layup up and good by Claire. Oh, it's fun to watch Claire go against Crane and Crane go against Claire. Good battle of the big guys.
As he took the ball to the basket, he works the ball all the way around his body, his back to front as he's taken to the lane.
We've got a full timeout with 6:13 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's 47-39, Dowling with the lead over the Kuemper Knights. We'll take a 1-minute break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting people to Christ with local faith leaders.
Hi, I'm Father George, pastor of Immaculate Conception Church in St. Mary's and Holy Trinity of Southeast Warren County in Milo and Lacona, inviting you to experience the truth, beauty, and goodness of the Catholic faith. Mass and reconciliation times can be found on our website, immaculateconceptionstmarys.org.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting people to Christ and His Church on their faith journey.
At Caldwell Parish Funeral Home and Crematory, Des Moines' only Catholic-owned and operated funeral home, we understand the sacred traditions of the Catholic funeral rites. These traditions bring comfort, honor, and hope through faith in Jesus and the resurrection. Caldwell Parish, Des Moines' only Catholic-owned and operated funeral home. CaldwellParish.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Westgate Dental, offering cosmetic, family, implant, and general dentistry. Located at 1073rd Street, Suite 1 in West Des Moines, just behind Dowling Catholic High School. Learn more at westgatedentalia.com.
Welcome back to the Dowling Gym. Out of the timeout. 47-39, Dowling with the lead. 6 minutes to play. Carol Kuemper with the basketball. Claire underneath. Passes it in the lane. Gets it to Jack Bading. Bading's reverse pass stolen away by Dowling. Coppola has it after it was deflected by Lucas Paoli. Right in the hands of Coppola. So Dowling taking advantage of a turnover. Both teams with 4 timeouts each remaining in this contest, and we're in the final 6 minutes. With the basketball is Dowling. Here's a shot in the lane, no good. Tip up and good by Charlie Crane. That's his 12th point. He fouled his shot there, Jimmy.
Fouled his shot. Ball was just coming off the rim, so no goaltending, but right at the rim. Charlie Crane with the putback of his own shot.
49-39, Dowling by 10. And it's almost crunch time. We're not under 5 minutes left. Claire reverse layup, good. Boy, when he gets loose, he's smooth to the basket. Claire with 15 points, leading Kuemper Catholic.
They have not attacked the basket as much as you've seen in this second half, but Claire's having a lot of success doing just that.
Dowling run their guard weave, if you will, out beyond the guard. Here's Martins backing in, gets underneath the Crane, layup up and good, and he hits the deck. He's undercut, and a basket will count, and a foul on Kuemper Catholic. Wow.
Yeah, a great job by Jenkins as he's coming around the pick. Had Paoli in the corner, who was wide open, but found Crane coming backdoor cut, as we've seen a few times tonight, and Crane converting on an N1.
Charlie Crane with his 14th point. So it's the battle of the big guys. Ryan Clare for Kuemper Catholic has 15, and if Crane can make the free throw, he'll have 15 points. What an afternoon for both. 51-41, Dowling by 10. With 4:49 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Glad you could join us for Saturday afternoon championship basketball. Free throw good by Crane. He has 15 points. Knights in the front court. Here's Carson Canny with it. Coming off a ball screen by Claire. Gets underneath. His shot up and no good. And it's saved from going out of bounds by Martins, but right into the hands of the Knights. A long three by Glenn. Up and good. Griffin Glenn, timeout Knights. Glenn with his first field goal of the afternoon. He's got 5 points, and this will be a full timeout. We'll take it with him. 4.5 minutes left to go, fourth quarter. 52-44, Dowling by 8 over Kuemper Catholic. And you're listening to the championship game of the Catholic Classic here at Dowling Catholic High School on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com.
Vinny Cataldo on the tunes as we come back from break. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo here at the Dowling Gym. 52-44. Dowling trying to close this out over Kuemper Catholic. Championship game. Earlier today it was Xavier defeating Heelan 54-51 in the consolation game. Dowling with the ball, 5 in the shot clock. Martins in the lane, shot off the glass, good! Noah Martins, boy did he ever create there, Jimmy.
What a tremendous play by Martins.
Now the other way, answering the bell is Claire as he shoots and scores. He's got 17 as the Knights get it right down court. Dowling the other way, a shot up and good, and now the other way we go. Offensive foul called on Crane. I might beg to differ on that one because Claire, I thought, didn't have position, but Charlie went down and he commits the foul. That's his fourth.
Well, you look and see if the offensive player, takes the defensive player on square there, and Charlie Crane did everything he could to go off to the side of Claire. To your point, I don't think he was as set, but yet Claire gets the benefit of the call.
3.5 to go, and now they work it inside. Griffin Glenn, his shot up and no good for the Knights. Rebound Dowling, 54-46 Maroons, 3:15 to go, and that'll be a foul called on the Knights. And Griffin Glenn picks up his second foul coming off the bench for the 6-foot sophomore. That is the second team foul on the Knights. Dowling with 2 team fouls, so both teams trying to get in the double bonus here in the closing 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling by 8.
You look how Carroll's going to respond into a situation they have not been in all year. Beating their teams or opponents by an average of 30 points. Haven't been down in the fourth quarter at any point in the season, and now they're sitting down 8 with 3 minutes to go. So be interested to see how Carroll does, and I know Coach Minahan is really happy that his team is put in a position where they got to fight here in this fourth quarter.
Jack Bedding picks up the foul. That is his second.
Maroons are going to work as much as that clock down as they can.
They reset the shot clock, so they got now 35 more seconds to wind down. You're exactly right, Jimmy.
But I think the thing that they got to focus on is don't play this way on defense. They got to sprint back on defense as Carroll Kuemper has gotten the last 6 points on transition.
All right, here's Coppola with it. He's dancing around out there with Biter, who shot in the lane, no good. Rebound, Biter for Carroll Kuemper. They work it underneath. This ball stolen away by Charlie Crane. Now here's Coppola with it. He's double teamed. The Knights are going to start double teaming everyone. 3 team fouls on the Knights and a timeout Dowling. This will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here with 2:14 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 54-46. Dowling with the lead over the Kuemper Knights. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. This will be interesting. Now the possessions go from a kind of a freestyling offense. Now we might see some set plays, and Coach Anderson picking up the Posey board. He's going to draw something up or call a play here because the Maroons will go into set play mode.
It's a really good call timed out for Coach Anderson, getting his team organized with 2:15 left in the game, knowing that Carroll's probably going to play a little bit more aggressive, try to get into positions where they can steal. When they can't steal, probably work their fouls, get into their 5th foul, force Dowling to the free throw line as they got to fight back in this game down 8.
Leading scorer for the Knights right now is Ryan Clare. 17 points for Dowling. Their leading scorer is their center, Charlie Crane. So the centers are taking over. The Maroons have Lucas Paoli with 11 points right now unofficially. The Knights with Dylan Schoen with 9 points. He was that spark in that first half, but he has yet to score here in the second half, and right now he's on the bench. Dowling inbounds the ball. 25 in the shot clock. Maroons trying to kill some clock here. Paoli with it. They just play catch to Jenkins. Now to Charlie Crane underneath, and he has a ball stolen away. Taken away by Schoen. He dribbles in the front court. Now they try a backdoor pass, and it's stolen away by the Maroons. And Lucas Paoli.
Tremendous hustle by the Maroons, working to get into the passing lanes.
A backcourt foul on the Knights. That'll be on Griffin Glenn. That's his third. That's a 14 foul on the Knights, so the Maroons will be going to the free throw line the rest of the afternoon with 1:45 to play. Dowling up 8.
Dowling going to their 5-guard offense, trying to get some ball handlers in there, some quickness.
Post players sitting right in front of you. Quincy Moore and Charlie Crane. Now here's Dowling in the front court. Paoli with it. Avoids some contact. Over to Keyless, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. That'll be on Biter, I believe, as they'll whistle it on. It was on the far side of the court, and it is. So Tragan Biter with his third foul. And Keyless to the line, 83% free throw shooter, has 6 points this afternoon. He'll get 2 free throws here, Jimmy. This one up and good.
Keyless hit 2 big 3-point shots in the first half, and a little bit quiet in the second half, but his shots have been reverberating from last night to earlier in this game. That him coming in, being able to shoot that 3-point shot, especially when the Maroons are dangerous taking the ball to the basket, he becomes a very dangerous person to guard.
This afternoon's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Blessman International and by Bozen the Florist, Construction Professionals, and Ashworth Vision Clinic. Keyless hits the second free throw. He'll have a seat on the bench. Charlie Crane checks in the lineup. Charlie playing with 4 fouls.
Maroons got to identify Carol Kuemper's 3-point shooters, Brock baiting, shoot the lights out, as well as Jack baiting his brother.
Now they work underneath to Claire. His shot is blocked. Now the second shot is blocked. And the third shot goes in. He gets both rebounds. Timeout, Kuemper Catholic. What a move by Claire. He's got 19 points and a timeout on the court. We'll keep it here. How about Claire staying with it? He had 2 shots blocked. Got the third rebound out of the whole deal. And put it through. Timeout, Kuemper, 56-48 Dowling with 1:17 to go here in the fourth quarter. This will be a 30-second timeout. Coach Anderson checking with one of our officials, Ethan Gordon, Tyler Hovick, and Roger George, saying, my man can run the baseline is all I want to know. I need to make sure that's
run the baseline. Again, this gymnasium gets really, really small and compact in situations like this where you know Carol Kuemper's going to be pressing you. Here, the Maroons got to find their moves, find their picks, find an open guy, don't get caught dribbling it. And no, Carol Kuemper, don't take them for granted, their quickness to get into passing lanes.
And where are the 4 points where you don't want to catch the ball and pick up your dribble?
Into the corners.
That's right. Stay away from those corners. Keep the ball in the middle as much as possible.
Maroons are starting all 5 guys on the baseline here, which you see oftentimes in college basketball, where it becomes hard for them to identify who to guard.
Maroons have executed. Keyless with it, and he's hit and fouled from behind. Kuemper Knight fans behind us thought he traveled, but he got bumped. And that foul will be on Dylan Schoen, his third of Kuemper Catholic. And you're right, they had the 5-guard offense in there. That's going to change. Crane's going to go in as free throws coming for Gio Keyless. They'll have 2. 56-48 Dowling. First one up and good. 1:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. We want to mention Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Mercy One, and Skeffton's Formal Wear for our supporters of Dowling Catholic sports all season long. Jimmy?
So 3 straight free throws by Gio. Big free throws here late in the game. Looking to make hopefully his 4th in a row.
And he did.
I wasn't afraid to say it either. I wasn't afraid to say it.
You know, I'm glad our friends from Ankeny are paying attention to who my color guy is. That's awesome. Coach Pollock, that's not true. He tore his Achilles playing backyard basketball, so that's not totally true.
Much quicker than
You thought you were, yeah. I thought so. Minute to play, 58-48, Dowling by 10. Now a long 3 by Baiting is no good. He was fouled by Dowling, and Paoli picks up the foul, and guess who's going to line for 3?
Yeah, Baiting.
Baiting, who hasn't missed a free throw all year.
But a very atypical shot by him. He uses his body to get 1 foot out, which forces Paoli to make contact, and that's where the foul is called, was in the leg of the shot.
And the first of 3 free throws, no good. Well, I gave him the announcer's jink. We got one fan in Ankeny. Is he drawing up offensive plays or something like that? Second free throw,
I think he's doing wrestling. So he's you know, no offense to our wrestlers, because I know a lot of them, but
be careful.
He's bored out of his mind.
Well, he's between sessions, probably. He's probably in the middle of a session.
And I don't even want to tell you where he's probably at if he's in between sessions.
Third free throw is good. So 2 out of 3 for Brock Baiting. He has 5 points. And
so here now the Maroons are taking the ball backcourt here.
58-50, Dowling by 8. Full court pressure. It's all man-to-man. And Keyless has double-teamed, and Coach Einertson calls timeout, kind of bails him out. So with 55 seconds remaining on the game clock, 32 seconds on the shot clock, going to be Dowling basketball, and they'll have the length of court to go, and they will not be able to run the baseline. We'll keep it here, 58-50, Dowling by 8. Maroons trying to win the Catholic Classic. Started last night. Maroons defeated Bishop Heelan of Sioux City. Or check that, Bishop Heelan was beaten by Kuemper Catholic, and Dowling defeated Cedar Rapids Xavier. And then this afternoon, consolation final had Cedar Rapids Xavier defeating Heelan 54-51, and right now Dowling leading Kuemper Catholic 58-50 with 55 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Mr. Cataldo.
You look at this game here, it's not as high pace as we had anticipated, with Carol Kuemper coming in averaging almost 86 points a game, sitting about 35 points less than what they normally shoot. So, credit Dowling slowing the pace down, but again, I think Carroll hasn't really seen an athletic team like Dowling as who plays physical defense, and Carroll just has not had the success shooting the three-point shot as they had throughout the year. But here's a team that can get baskets or points in bunches with their ability to shoot the three-point shot.
All right, the Maroons are inbound the ball. This time throwing it in will be Lucas Paoli. And the ball goes deflected out of bounds.
Off the Maroons there.
And they'll put Charlie Crane back in the lineup. You replace Keyless. So Dowling turns it over with 55 seconds to go. So they had their 1-4 set, but all the other four players were outside the lane. Knights inbound the ball. Here's Schoen with it. Dribble drives in the lane. His layup is partially blocked by Crane, but put back up and in by Ryan Clare. That's his 21st point. 58-52, Dowling by 6. We got a timeout in the back court, or in the front court rather, by Dowling.
Well, it's exactly where you can't get caught. The Maroons got caught in the corner with Jenkins getting the ball inbounds at the corner.
This will be a 30-second timeout. Again, we want to thank all the folks behind the scenes for this tournament. We mentioned Holly Coppola yesterday. Does a lot of the special projects and events for Dowling Catholic, and appreciate having her on, and of course all the other people here. Tom Wilson, the athletic director, and we had Jared Herring last night. He guaranteed my stuff wouldn't get misplaced.
Well, a lot of people go into putting this thing on. It's a Saturday. It's a full day Saturday for so many bodies in the school building, not just the athletic staff, but the custodial staff as well, keeping this place ready to go and turned around in a short period of time.
Keep in mind, our next broadcast will be Monday night. You'll be back in the state of Iowa Monday. I know you got to go up near the border. You got to do a lot of driving on Monday.
Yeah.
Hopefully the weather will not be as bad. We'll be at Southeast Polk Monday night, Dowling at Southeast Polk. That is a venue change, so if you see it on the schedule, it could be a change. And now we got a blocking foul called on Carson Canny. That's his third. Knight fans saw the forearm kind of go forward, and that that could be a push off or an offensive foul, but Dowling will go to the free throw line. Again, full court pressure, very good. Well, Nathan Jenkins to the line.
Very, very strong full court press by Carol Kuemper, but what Dowling failed to do in their full court break is flashing somebody into the middle. They had nobody into the middle of the court who typically is your outlet player.
Well, Jimmy, you said this the other night. Free throw by Jenkins is good. He now has 5 points. Dowling's lead now 7, 59-52. Said the other night, sometimes playing the CIML, you see a lot of man. You don't see a whole lot of pressing unless somebody's trying to panic and get back in the game. And we saw it all between Xavier and this afternoon with Kuemper.
Well, you get to see what other schools and what other sides of the state and how they play this game, which is a little bit different than what we see here.
Claire underneath is shot up and good. And a timeout called by Kuemper Catholic. 23 points for the big guy. Ryan Clare, the 6'5 junior for Kuemper, came in averaging 15 points. Just became eligible second semester, and he shoots and scores. Got his first start today. 60-54, Dowling by 6. We'll keep it here.
Smart play by Clare, understanding that Charlie Crane's sitting at 4 fouls. Charlie doesn't want to come out of the game, and so he's playing a little bit softer defense than what he normally does. Doesn't contest the shot, so Ryan Clare taking advantage of that, getting the ball in, sitting at 23 points tonight.
And Dowling will take Charlie Crane out and go with their 5-guard offense, which means Keyless will come in. And that 5 guards, now they can go out of bounds. All 5 can go out of bounds with the ball being inbounded and run that play.
Well, they've probably drawn up about every press break that they have in their playbook. And so Carroll Kuemper has a great understanding of kind of what they're doing and what they're going to try to do. As they ran 5 guys off the baseline. They ran a triple pick for Gio Keyless, trying to get him loose when the Maroons was forced into a turnover. So interesting to see how they come out and try to break the press here, as you've seen it a couple times. Not too successful for the Maroons here in this fourth quarter.
Well, as we mentioned, our next broadcast will be Monday night at Southeast Polk. Girl-boy doubleheader beginning at 6 o'clock. Dowling does not play until Friday, so they play 2 games next week. Dowling hosting Urbandale will be here Friday night for the doubleheader. For Kuemper Catholic, they will be hosting Atlantic this Friday night at 7:30, so they have basically a week off. Dowling inbound on the ball, looking, and they get it into Martins, and he's fouled in the backcourt. Griffin Glenn with his 4th foul. So for Kuemper, they play Friday at home against Atlantic, and then on Saturday they take on East Sac County at 5:30 1 week from today at home. And then the following week they take on Denison Sleswig, Glenwood, and West Lyon. So let's look at the games coming up. Free throws coming for Dowling and Noah Martins. First one up, and no good. Noah, a 75% free throw shooter on the year this afternoon, has 8 points.
First missed in the fourth quarter for the Maroons. They're 7 of 8 in just the fourth quarter on the free throw line.
Were you counting on your toes too? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
Second
there,
one, no
see?
Good. Rebound, Kuemper Catholic. The other way we go. Knights with it. Here's Glenn in the lane, and his shot up and no good. Partially altered that time by Charlie Crane, and we got a foul on the pass on Canny, and that'll be his 4th. Crane to the free throw line for 2.
Huge play all around as Brock Bading was looking to hit a 3-point shot. He gets a hand in his face contest, so he has to pass off. But great defensive effort by Charlie Crane, contesting the dribble drive, not only contesting it, but then getting the offensive or the defensive rebound.
60-54, Dowling by 6, 12.6 seconds remaining. Crane by himself at the free throw line. First one good. Charlie this afternoon with 16 points. And Dowling backs everybody off the free throw line. Second one good. 17 points for Crane. Quit flicking the lights, Jimmy.
I think they're on timers.
Three-pointer up and no good. And that'll do it. Dowling will dribble it out. 62-54. Dowling Catholic defeats Kuemper Catholic in the inaugural Catholic Classic boys basketball tournament held this weekend. Congratulations to the Maroons and to Kuemper Catholic. They're going to have a great season playing in the Atlantic 10 Conference as their record falls to 7-1. Dowling Catholic improves to 6-2 with the win this afternoon. And Jimmy, what a game we saw. Both teams didn't hit their offensive averages. Dowling averaging, no, they did. Dowling averaged 59 points. They scored 62. It was Kuemper Catholic averaging 85 points, held to 54. That'll be something to mark on your calendar later in the year.
It was just a great defensive effort from the Maroons in both last night's game and here this afternoon. It was a key that we talked about, the transition defense, which slowed Kuemper down. But so many plays by so many different Maroons really allowed them to play so successful over the weekend. And the game didn't disappoint. That Carroll Kuemper team in Class 2A is going to make a good name for themselves this year, and it'll be interesting to see what they do come this March.
Dowling went 9 for 11 at the free throw line in that fourth quarter as we start totaling up our numbers. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll come back with the post-game show. We'll catch up with head coach Justin Einertson of Dowling Catholic, and he may bring a player or two as we'll have interviews here on our post-game show. For Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale, stay tuned. Post-game show coming up. Final score, Dowling 62, Kuemper Catholic 54. Back with more here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. Online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com. 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Life's buzzing with energy, and every moment is powered by our health. At Mercy One, their caring doctors focus on just that, so you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com. Support for programming funded by Blessman International. We bring the good news of the gospel to South African children and their families through faith formation and locally sustainable programs. As the Fellowship of Christian Athletes location for all South Africa, our Sports for Christ complex provides student access to friendly competition where discipline and dedication are developed. Learn how you can support programs like Sports for Christ or experience the hands-on engagement of a mission trip at blessmaninternational.org.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
And welcome back to the Dowling Catholic High School Gym in West Des Moines. Final score in the championship game of the Catholic Classic, Dowling 62 and Kuemper Catholic 54. The Knights with their first loss of the season. They fall to 7-1. Dowling improves its record to 6-2. Mark Hamadale alongside Jimmy Cataldo. Our thanks to Vinny Cataldo back at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios, keeping us on point this afternoon, bringing out some. He's cutting up some tunes back in your era and maybe a couple in my era, Jimmy Cataldo. I like it.
You're the only one who's dancing in these bleachers during the cut-in.
I'm not dancing.
Mark, I
wasn't dancing.
I would be careful because there's video here, and this may go, if I go back and look.
Oh, I forgot about that.
There's some shoulder bopping, and there's
that's
some knee.
Not dancing. I'm not on my feet. I mean, really?
You would call it dancing back in some of your
How close are those stats
mixers
this afternoon? That's what I
think it's pretty good.
You think so?
I think it's really good. Interesting night as I think
afternoon.
Afternoon as the Maroons came out and really forced the defensive issues and really forced Carol Kuemper into some poor shooting percentages, way out of the ranges of what they are used to shooting. But let me hit the game stats as I have it for Carol Kuemper.
Sure.
Carol Kuemper goes 19 of 51 from the field and just 2 of 14 from 3, and that's just incredibly below what they're normally shooting. 37% total on the night, 23 total rebounds, and just 7 turnovers. So handled Dowling's pressure really well. Just turning the ball over 7 times. For the Maroons, decent shooting night for them. 20 of 42 from the field, which includes 5 of 18 from 3, 47% on the night shooting for the Maroons. 26 total rebounds. So I have the Maroons out rebounding Carol Kuemper 26-23, and the Maroons in the different defensive styles that Carol Kuemper threw at them with the full court press, with the zone, man-to-man intensity. Maroons with just 10 turnovers tonight on the night. But I think the key, as I see it, and I think you're gonna hit on them, is the free throws. The Maroons go 10 of 12 from the free throw line in the second half, which include, as you mentioned, 9 of 11 in the fourth quarter alone. But Coach Einertson says, and I'll get him in the pregame interview, but he always says you want to shoot more free throws than you shoot three-point shots, and the Maroons shot 19 free throws in the game. I have them 15 of 19 at the free throw line, and as I mentioned, 5 of 18 from three-point range.
All right, we're going to be joined by head coach Justin Einertson, along with this Keyless character.
Yeah.
I got a few questions for him.
It took us a while to get the pronunciation of his name, so I'm glad he's here and can confirm.
Well, let's see. Gio, we're going to give you that. And or it makes no difference, whatever you guys want to do. We're getting the mics all squared away, and I'll let who's got this? Coach has this. All right. Apologize for that. I think we're all on mic here, Jimmy.
Yep.
Mr. Keyless, can you hear me?
Check.
Yep. All right. And Coach Anderson?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That was a little bit of a grind, but happy to be on this end of it.
And wouldn't expect anything other in two teams. I mean, you held a high-scoring Kuemper Catholic team averaging 85 points. You held them to 54 this afternoon, so you got to be pretty proud of your team and the guy that's you brought with you.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, to the quick turnaround, we didn't really have a chance to prepare for a team that's very different than what we typically play, and basically took away their transition points, which is pretty cool, turn them into a half-court team. Unfortunately, they're really good at that too. I don't think anybody's ever seen them play in the half-court this season, but yeah, I mean, big stops, did a great job guarding the three-point line, and executed on the offensive end.
Well, you had a lead at halftime. Was it 9-point lead at halftime? You had to be pretty, nice to have that happen against a nice team that you have never faced. And as I found out, these two teams did play once back in 1976. Sub-state, I don't know if it was sub-state.
Were you on the call
final.
for that one, too?
I was not. I was in 8th grade. Now, you sound like Cataldo because I already heard that in the first half when I brought that up. But it was Kuemper Catholic defeating Dowling 48-43.
All right, our first win.
Over the Knights back in 1976.
That?
So there's some alumni here from the Knights that one of them was there and actually played in the game. So congratulations.
Well,
now we're 1-1
back.
against the Knights.
Yeah, the Denny O'Grady Bowl.
Oh, that's awesome. And what a tribute to him before the game. How about this guy here, this Gio Keyless? Are we saying that right, Gio? Congratulations. Welcome. Does Coach have any good things to say about you?
Yeah, I mean, Gio's literally the hardest worker in our program. He's one of those guys that we want this program to look like when he leaves. And, since I first walked in the gym, first time I ever walked in the sophomore gym when I got the job, it was like June 1st. I was like, who's this kid? Because he just moved really smooth. Everything was really smooth. To think about where he is now compared to that 18 months ago is pretty unbelievable. But, I mean, there's nobody that spends more time. And, coming in later than a lot of our kids, because I don't know, what grade did you start coming to these schools, Joe?
7th grade.
It's been kind of cool to see him, get implemented into our culture and become a really big figure of it. The guys love him. They trust him. You can see every time he's in, they're feeding him the ball like crazy. He's working on becoming an elite defender. And when you talk about recruitable players in our program, it's hard to find one more appealing than Gio with his offensive ability and his growing defensive ability.
Well, Gio, you got some pretty good numbers. Averaging 9 points off the bench. It's a 32-minute game, and you find a way to score tonight or this afternoon. 5 for 5 at the free throw line, and some of them came at crunch time. So congratulations. You're starting to feel comfortable?
Yep. Just putting in time in the gym, and I stay consistent with my workouts, working on free throws after every drill, so it came natural to me.
That's great. It certainly looks natural. Now, you've overcome Coach Anderson being a Packer fan, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing we all have to live. And last night he throws his keys down. There's a Packer keychain, and so we overlooked that because a lot of good attributes out of the coaching staff. But Gio, talk about your progress, because this is a Dowling team that basically had their roster gutted last year with 10, 11 seniors, and here you're one of the new guys. 4 new starters. Maddox and Paoli are the two. Coppola and Paoli are the 2 veterans, and here you guys are, and you get Valley, you get Kuemper, you get Waukee. So what do you think of these challenges on a given night?
Yeah, it's huge pressure on us, but just carving in a role for myself to play. And I know I put in the time in the gym, and I'll be good when I get out there. It was definitely carving the role that was the hardest part.
Mm-hmm. Well, you look at the last 2 games, Gio, and I think you look at it. I think you hit 6 3-pointers over the 2 games, but a couple big shots tonight from the 3-point range. Talk about your shot, how you work on it. How many shots you put up in a practice typically, and what do you think is the strengths of your game?
I always have Coach Nahas pushing me to shoot threes, even when there's someone in my face. So just looking for that, it definitely helps for the game, being ready to catch and shoot, game speed. And I also, every day, it's like 2 a day for me. Like every time I'm just shooting in the gym, working out my hardest, I know I'll be ready when I get the ball.
Well, I think one thing that goes, not looked at, and one of the things you don't see on the stat sheet is the four free throws that you made in that fourth quarter when the game was still tight enough, especially against a Carroll Kuemper team that can shoot the three-point shot. You go to the line in the fourth quarter, back-to-back times, and you drain both free throws. What's going through your mind? How do you feel during those situations, and how do you handle it?
Just make them. It's definitely a lot of pressure because the game's still close, and I know this whole team can shoot that we're playing. Like, they're always jacking them up. They can come back at any time. It's just get the job done.
Well, as I tell a lot of guys who don't necessarily start, talk to them often, is when you get the opportunities, you take advantage of it. And watching you over the last 6, 7, 8 games is you're definitely taking advantage of those opportunities. You look comfortable on the court, and you can see that a lot of people are trusting finding you. Your feet are set, and you've been knocking down some shots. So good luck to you as the season draws on, and make a great run at it.
Thank you.
Gio, I have one more question before you go. Back-to-back games, second time this year it's happened. It was Valley and Roosevelt earlier. What do you do after last night and preparing for today with a quick turnaround, not only for the team but also for your body? What did you do?
So last night I went home and I watched the film as soon as I got home, and I do recovery. Like Normatec, you put them over your legs and they pressurize your legs, so get me back in the game. Like, it's just my legs feel fresh all over again, and warming up, consistent, and trusting my shot.
Do they have that for voices, like for announcers? Because that's getting a little tougher for me. I didn't say tired, Coach Anderson. It's just recovery. So good for you. Anybody you want to say hello to? And I know your dad's a coach amongst one of the schools that we play. I'm not going to call him out, but Joe does a great job over at the school west of here. But anybody you want to give a shout out to besides them?
Definitely my dad and my team and everyone I work out with. My mom, keep pushing me, keep my mental straight. And my brother, just you can accomplish anything.
That's awesome. Ready for second semester in 2 days at Dowling?
Kinda.
He's ready. I haven't even thought about it.
He's ready for lunch. These guys probably didn't put a whole lot into their body this morning, and so 3 o'clock they're ready to eat a big meal.
Yeah. All right. Well, Gio Keelis, thanks for joining us here in the post-game show. We'll let you get back to your teammates and your family, and we'll sit here and ask the hard questions to Coach Anderson. Okay. Thanks, Gio.
Thank you.
All right, Gio Keelis joined us here in the post-game show following Dowling's win this afternoon, 62-54 over Kuemper Catholic in the championship game of the Catholic Classic. Coach Anderson, what a young man. You got many of them in that locker room, And
yeah, they're all over the place.
And I'll tell you, it was fun to watch this game. As I told Jimmy, it's going to be up and down both teams.
Yep.
We have the smaller floor. It's not a college floor, so you have the smaller floor. And I'm thinking Kuemper plays a lot of their games on a larger floor in some of these communities that they built new gyms and they put the college court in. But it was kind of a tight fit for these guys that ran out of space.
That probably helped us. They're so good in transition, and I thought we neutralized that almost completely, which is it's really hard to do. When you think about our early games, Urbandale and Centennial, transition was our biggest flaw. So it's nice to be as sound as we were today and, beat a team that they would beat a lot of teams, honestly. It's always tough to talk about how a 2A would play against a 4A, but they're one of the best 2As in the state.
Absolutely.
They're going to score with anybody. So it's just awesome that we were able to put that defensive effort in on a short recovery, basically.
And I know Jimmy had the stats, but coming in, you averaged just under 10 turnovers a game. They averaged under 8 turnovers a game for Kuemper Catholic.
Their assist-to-turnover ratio was just insane coming in. It was like there were like 4 guys with a 5-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, just insane. Mm-hmm. So, it's a good team, really well coached.
Well, a lot of success came from the post players, at least early in the game. I think you guys took advantage of that aspect of the game, getting the ball down low to Charlie, getting the ball down low to Quincy. Was that part of the, you shot 31 as I had. You had 31 three-point shots last night, and I'm sure, I'm not sure if that was, by intent, but tonight I thought you guys did a great job feeding the post.
I think the big problem with this generation in general, and this isn't a knock on any of our guys individually, is like the natural ability to get the ball in the post and post reads aren't there when they get to the high school level, whereas they may have been for you and me. We're used to looking inside, but they're learning how to dribble and shoot a lot younger, and then that never comes. So we've spent quite a bit of time talking about post footwork and then how to get the ball in, but it's not as sharp as our dribble drive stuff right now. So until we get to that point, I think you're going to see games where we take a lot of threes. But especially against teams that switch and kind of keep you on the perimeter, But for us to take the next step, beat Owaukee, to beat Johnston, because Johnston's so good guarding the perimeter, we have to be able to get the ball inside. So it's something that's kind of constant. We're always trying to develop our post entry passes specifically, and it was nice to see us actually hit on a couple of those today.
So one stat you always talk about is how many free throws you shoot versus how many three-point shots you shoot. And so I had you shoot 19 free throws today and 18
Perfect. Hey, we did
shots.
it, guys.
I think it's the first time
now the real goal
we've ever
is to
done that.
make more free throws than you shoot threes. But hey, I'll take it where it is. I mean, modern basketball, it's a hard thing to do, to get those free throws above the threes.
Well, you look at the fourth quarter alone. Your team goes 9 of 11 from the free throw line in a game where you guys were not
and it was
getting
Noah
much
that
shots
missed
off.
it too.
Noah, right?
Yeah.
And for that whole second half, 10 of 12, huge second half from the free throw line. What do you attribute? How do you talk to your guys about how do you get to the free throw line? What kind of things do you coaching staff push to get those guys to get to an easier shot?
Yeah, well, in our dribble drive stuff, a lot of it is playing off of 2 feet, but that sometimes backfires because our guys are so strong. So we saw a couple of flops that weren't called flops; they were called charges. And it's one of those things where you want to put the defense in a position where they have to make a risky move. And today, I don't think that really worked out for us very much. I mean, a lot of our free throws in the second half came because they were following us on purpose. We still have to find a way to get down there, not bowl them over, because we are strong. Let's be honest. Like this group works extremely hard in the weight room. They're fit. They can very easily knock people over. So we have to find a way to get down there and force them to make contact with us instead of us running them over.
So you look at your defensive effort the last 2 nights, and I just thought, I mean, as a coach, trying to get the best out of your team defensively, holding Carroll Kuemper 2 of 14 from the three-point range. When you got two baiting brothers who can shoot the lights out, they make 1 3-point shot. And so I thought your defense to contest and get a hand in their face was incredible. It darn near cost Zach Nicholson a technical.
Well, he apologized to me. I'm like, what are you talking about? With that kind of passion, I would take tees, honestly. But yeah, I think the official thought he was yelling at him, or the baseline official, and I had to explain to him, no, he's yelling at our point guard who's not in the right spot. But no, that passion. I mean, Nicholson and Sam Young, who does all the scouting for us, those 2 guys are a huge part of our defensive growth. And, I know exactly how that feels as an offensive coach to go 2 of 14 from 3 because you're playing a team that's up in your grill. And it's awesome to coach a team that can do that on the other end.
All right, Coach Einertson, Monday night, Dowling on the road at Southeast Polk. Back to CIML basketball as you have a Monday-Friday week ahead of you. Monday's game, obviously we're supposed to play Southeast Polk Friday, but the Catholic Classic kind of moved some stuff around in Southeast Polk. The game was supposed to be here, now it's over there, so we'll be...
we're moving it all over the place.
All over the place, but we'll be on the air 6 o'clock Monday night. So you have Southeast Polk on Monday. Friday, it's Urbandale here at the Dowling Gym. So a couple of CIML conference opponents, am I right? And then it's Valley and Centennial the following week. So no Saturday game next week. Yeah, big opportunity for us to get back into conference play. We obviously went into break with a bad feeling in our mouth, bad taste in our mouth based on how we finished. So... it's I don't know a thing about Southeast Polk. I haven't even watched them yet. So that'll be today, tonight, tomorrow, and then we'll take one of our rare Sunday practices and get ready for them. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us here this afternoon following your win. And who's going to talk?
Reed's going to say hi to Grandma.
Oh, boy. Now we're not.
You want to say hi to Grandma?
No.
Hi, Grandma. I think it's nap time. Doesn't it sound like that?
Well, it's almost 3:30, so it could be. You talking about for the kids or you? Or me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Coach, thanks. Congratulations on the win. And, hey, great job by the people behind the scenes at Dowling with this Catholic Classic. We had Holly Capola on yesterday.
Yeah, shout out
at
to
halftime.
them. Just an awesome
all
job.
All those people. Even this guy here, Rob Deal, is wondering, are you still talking?
Rob's trying to get us out of here.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. But hats off to all those folks behind the scenes, including the administration.
Carrie and Holly specifically, obviously our athletic directors, Jared and Tom, for letting us do this.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be something that continues. So I'm excited about it. I think it's great for everybody, and now we can root for all those guys going into
when
the
you
playoffs.
look at a Catholic Classic like this, do you look around the state and try to identify, or do these teams know that, hey, we're going to put this on the schedule? How do you find teams that come
this year? This year I had to reach out. Assumption wanted to join it first and then couldn't get out of a scheduling commitment they had. I would imagine we're going to get a couple of requests, so it's going to be interesting to see what we do with it. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity because with the CIML schedule and the 5 openings, it's really hard to get teams to play us, to be honest with you. So, there's an opportunity to maybe add a game or maybe keep it like this in the future. We'll see.
Do you ever look outside the state?
Yeah. Yeah. And, I think we're getting to the point where we can Kristen Meyer our schedule up a little bit. I mean, she plays, like 6 number 1s this year?
Sure.
It's just wild. So, I feel good enough about our team where I feel like we can take on those kinds of challenges now. So, yeah, I mean, like Scott Catholic, there's a bunch in Minneapolis, Chicago, and, maybe even like Marquette University High School in Wisconsin. We'll see.
Pretty cool.
I knew Wisconsin would come into the picture. I knew he was going north.
It was an alley-oop I threw.
It's always going to come up, guys. I don't know why this is going to come up.
He could have went west in Omaha.
Did you guys see that game last night?
Which one?
116 for the Badgers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Iowa.
Yeah. Thanks for that. That was coming up on my phone, and I turned it off, so I knew
smart.
that. So, congratulations to your Badgers. But, Coach Heinerson, we'll see you Monday night. Have a great weekend. Thanks for doing this.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You bet. That's Justin Heinerson visiting with us here on the postgame show. Jimmy Cataldo, I know we've got what you got your stats all in?
I got my stats in.
So I just got to get the scoring and then the thank yous out of the way. And we appreciate all the help behind the scenes here. We mentioned Tom Wilson and Jared Herring, from the athletic department here at Dowling. Appreciate all they did. Let's take a look at the scoring. For the visitors from Kuemper Catholic and Carroll, their leading scorer was Ryan Clare, the 6'5 junior, finished with 23 points. He was 3 of 4 at the free throw line, and he was the only player in double figures. Dylan Schoen off the bench, 6'2 sophomore, who was a starter, finished with 9 points, all in the first half. Rounding out scoring for Kuemper Catholic, Brock Bading with 7 points, and 4 points for his brother Jack Bading. And 2 points for Carson Canny. And off the bench, Griffin Glenn, the 6-foot sophomore for the Knights, with 5 points. The Knights went 12 of 15 at the free throw line, as Jimmy Cataldo alluded to earlier. For Dowling, the Maroons had 3 players in double figures, led by the 6'9 post player, Charlie Crane, the 6'9 junior, finishing with 17 points. And he was followed in scoring by Lucas Paoli with 13 points. Gio Keelis, who we had here on the post-game interview, finished with 10 points. And then rounding out scoring for the Maroons, 8 points for Noah Martins and 6 points for Nathan Jenkins. 4 points each for Maddox Capola and for Quincy Moore off the bench for the Maroons. Dowling went 15 of 19 at the free throw line. Dowling led 32-23 at halftime. The Knights outscored Dowling 31-30 in the second half, and the Maroons won it 62-54. Dowling's record now 5-2. The Knights fall to 7-1. Up next for Carroll Kuemper, they take on Atlantic this Friday night at home. Tip-off at 7:30, and then next Saturday they take on East Sac County at 5:30 up at Carroll. And for Dowling Catholic, the Maroons are on the road Monday at Southeast Polk, and we'll be on there at 6 o'clock for the girls' game and the boys' game to follow. So join us for Dowling at Southeast Polk Monday night. That'll be our next broadcast, and then next Friday we'll round out Dowling's week as the Maroons will be home against Urbandale. Jimmy Cataldo, any final comments? Until then, I know you've got some travels on your horizon, so safe travels, and we'll talk to you Monday night.
Look forward to this January grind. It's 2 games a week, and it doesn't stop, and you really got to put together a lot of recovery and a lot of energy in this month of January to make a strong run to get a good seeding in February.
Oh, yeah. Seeding's all important, and I think Dowling girls have 3 games next week because they're playing Saturday at the Ballard Huxley tournament against number 1 Bishop Heelan out of Class 4A. Yeah. So
and that's what basketball allows you to do. It's something that you may not be able to see in football as much when you see, say 5A football teams playing 3 or 2A, football teams. But you can see that in basketball. You get teams that are very similar. You find 5, 6, 7, 8 really good players, both boys and girls, and put them together, and creates really, really good competitive games.
All right, that'll wrap up our broadcast. Thank you, Jimmy, and for everybody involved with our broadcast, including our business underwriters and supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. Our thanks to them. Our studio producer this afternoon has been Vinny Cataldo, and our thanks to everybody at Dowling, Jared Herring, Tom Wilson, Colleen Webb, and, of course, Holly Capola. We had her on at halftime yesterday, the special projects and events. Our thanks to all the people behind the scenes, all the coaches that were involved with this broadcast. And our next broadcast we mentioned will be this Monday night, January 6th, Dowling at Southeast Polk, pregame at 6 o'clock from Southeast Polk High School. Hope you join us for the broadcast. For Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. Thanks again for tuning in. Again, the final scores for the final time this afternoon here at the Catholic Classic. In the consolation final with Cedar Rapids Xavier 54, Bishop Heelan from Sioux City 51, and the final in the championship game, it was Dowling Catholic 62, Kuemper Catholic from Carroll 54. For everybody involved, this is Mark Amadale wishing everyone have a safe and blessed faith-filled afternoon.
Coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Mercy One, Blessman International, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Fast Signs in Clive, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Boson the Florist. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The preceding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.